Hey there, soul surfers. River here. Another episode of Yesterday's Sparkles. And what today in this session do we share? Well, of course, I took notes. So there's certain words that immersed in adoption spirit magic, after dancing away from the fight, flight, freeze, fawn, fuck cycles, there's certain words I swapped out of my circulation. And what that looks like is that I keep saying those words and then I catch myself and rephrase what I'm saying. So if you happen to be one of the people I'm talking to, then you get to sit around a little longer while you wait for me to explain myself fully or not, because who got time for that, right? The orphan adopted is well aware that people ain't got time for that. And if that's you, you may change the channel. And if you are still hanging around, thank you for your courage and devotion to yourself, to step out of those cycles, those grief-struck by loss cycles. So anyhow, some of the words I avoid. Okay, first one on the list, good, and any of its derivatives, including bad, better, worse, best. I swap out for more relevant, fair, accurate descriptors. And another word, should. Should is one of the words that induces the most guilt in the human vocabulary. And that guilt and shame is a card that every human is dealt with each loss. And it's a two-faced card. The flip side is compassion, understanding, forgiveness. And so that guilt we want to shift into the higher expressions. And so catching ourselves when we say should, you should know better, you should have heard me the first time, you should be a better friend, you should be a better lover, you should be a better president, you should be at whatever it is. Guess what? We're off the hook. We don't have to use that word anymore. So that's quite thrilling. Takes a lot of the guilt and shame away from our everyday cycles, circuits, and in those moments, pardon me, it's not so much even swapping it out for another word. It's just recognizing, wow, I'm going down that guilt and shame path and I don't need to do that. And to play a different card altogether. Shuffle your cards, pick something else to do at that moment. Instead of following that train of thought, because it's part of the violence cycle. That amygdala getting grief-struck by loss, and then we get cycled up in these shoulds. I surely could explain this more efficiently, but maybe that's what the rest of life is for, because, part of my duty is to repeat myself like a happy broken record. And so good, should, always never. That's another one where, always never, that's my sign to tag out and not believe everything I think, because, always never, it's rarely ever true. Sort of like crazy, that's another word that I've dropped out of my circulation. Crazy, it's rarely ever true. But you calling me crazy could make me insane. It's just not true. And all the times it's used in our daily vocabulary, from talking about the weather to a person. And it seems to take away the dignity and equity from Mother Nature to the people. And so I swapped it out. It seems to be part of that fight, flight, freeze, fuck cutoff culture program. So those are just a few. And there's more. So I'll be back. Thank you so much for joining us in this session. Thank you for helping us breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. We love you all.